Hello and welcome to this edition of Extreme Reloading. This is our season finale. And what we're doing this season is we're reloading for this old gun. And in particular, I'm reloading for the Mauser M48 in 8mm Mauser and the 7.7 Arisaka Type 99 rifle. Hey, both of these are World War II vintage rifles, and it's been a really interesting season. What I've been able to do is to craft a load using Hornady brass, Hornady bullets, and Varget powder for the 8mm Mauser. Similarly, I've been able to craft a very nice load for the 7.7 Arisaka using Norma brass, Sierra bullets, and Hodgdon's 4350, along with CCI bench rest primers. And right now, these two hand loads are neck and neck. I'm getting about 16 feet per second muzzle velocity variation. That's our standard deviation on the muzzle velocities. The 7.7 is traveling quite a bit slower at 2,150 feet per second out of the muzzle with that 180 grain bullet, while the 8mm Mauser is at about 2,550 with that Hornady bullet. Both loads are giving me about a 1.5, 1.6 inch group. That's a 5-shot group at 50 yards. And today we're doing Mauser versus Arisaka. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to get off the bench, at least for quite a bit of this video. And we're going to shoot from the kneeling position at 50 yards. 5-shot group with each rifle. And to make this a little bit more challenging, I'm imposing a time limit of 1 minute to fire 5 shots from 50 yards from the kneeling position. Then we're going to move our targets out to 100 yards. I'm going to assume the prone position, fire 5 rounds with each of these firearms, and I'm going to give us 5 minutes. And then comes the real challenge. I'm going to head out to 200 yards with a steel target, and hey, we're just shooting iron sights with these two rifles. 5 shots apiece. Now we're back off the bench for this part of the challenge. There's 3 stages to the challenge, and we're going to determine who wins each stage. Best 2 out of 3 takes the win. Question is, what rifle do you think is going to win this challenge? Well, let's not wait to find out. Let's head out to the range and roll that footage.
Good.
You are all set. Fire. Hold to the top of that black.
All right.
On the left target. Round number 3 at the left target. Left bullseye. Okay, now at the target on the right, I'm going to hold pretty much dead ball. I'm going to actually aim a little bit low since we're going for score. I'm sure I pulled that one to the left. Come on. Felt pretty good. To the left. That one felt nice. That one felt pretty good. All right.
Shoot at the target on the right.
Yep.
Oh, this is hard for my old eyes. Oh yeah. It's fine. That's 5. It felt pretty good. I guess I had gotten rid of used to that Mauser trigger, and this is not a bad trigger, but it's a different trigger. So I think I did pretty well still. Let's go on to the Mauser. Your turn to shoot.
How'd that feel?
Good. Okay. We're going to start with the Mauser. 200 yards. Now this should be pretty much zeroed at 200 yards according to the trajectory table. We'll see how she goes. Did not hear the joyful clang on that one. I don't know. Did you hear anything, Dustin? Uh-oh. I think I might have shot a little bit high. Aha! There's a hit. Sounded good. It's shooting high, so I'm aiming. A hit. Same thing. Now this one, the trajectory says it's going to drop almost 24 inches, 22, 23 inches at 200 yards. So I'm going to hold high on it and see how we do. Of course, now it's really high. I'm holding right now just above the head of that steel target. Looks to me like it hit high. I'm going to start going down. That was a hit, wasn't it?
Hit.
Hit. So doing all right.
Hit.
Oh, it's all right.
Sounds like it hit as well.
Beautiful.
All right. Here we go.
don't know if the remote camera was alive the whole time. It was indicating a low battery at one point here. But I got 2 hits with the Mauser here, and then here. That's a nice shot. My first shot with the Arisaka, I saw it go high, right over the top. I was aiming about here, based on that known drop, or well, calculated drop. I saw it go high, and then corrected and held right about here, this area here. And I heard these shots, 1, 2, 3, 4, not too bad. I know it's shooting a little bit to the right, but gee, that's not too bad for an 80-year-old rifle. 4 out of 5 Arisaka, 2 out of 5 with the Mauser. Arisaka wins phase or stage number 3.
Now that was fun. It's a lot more challenging when you get off of the bench and have to shoot from an unsupported position, kneeling, prone, standing, sitting, whatever, those sort of things. And you saw a fair amount of user error, shooter error in what we did today. In fact, some of our 5 rounds didn't even impact the target paper that I wanted to be shooting at. That's okay. Kind of having fun, a little bit of pressure by putting that time limit on it. But it all worked out really, really interesting. Overall, the Arisaka won Stage 1, Stage 2, and Stage 3. Now this is the real crazy thing. When I calculated the trajectory of that 7.7 Arisaka, remember, in previous episodes, we were always impacting low, about 2.5 to 3 inches low at 50 yards. So when I plugged that into the ballistics calculator, it was indicating that this gun was going to shoot 23 inches low at 200 yards. Well, it did no such thing. What happened was it pretty much acted like it zeroed at 200 yards. My first shot was held intentionally over the head of that target, and I saw it impact pretty much above the target. So then I pulled it down. I was aiming, as I said, in around what would be the neck position of that target, and I started hitting. Maybe a little bit of a drop, yeah, probably a little bit of a drop at 200 yards, and definitely it's shooting to the right. We'll see if we can get that all fixed up in the future. But by golly, it shot pretty good. Shots 2, 3, 4, and 5 all hit, within about a hand's reach on that steel target. The Mauser, not quite so good. We were shooting above, even though I know it was zeroed for 200 yards. The trajectory indicated that. And once I got on, it was shooting pretty darn well. The Mauser rifle shot very good along the windage, no left or right holds necessary. In fact, the second shot hit that heart and popped out that little flag. That's kind of cool to see that even from 200 yards. What really amazes me is that these are old rifles. Now that Arisaka is literally getting close to about 80 years old, and it is still shooting very respectably. So overall, that was a fun season of extreme reloading. We're not done completely for the year. We'll be releasing some special edition videos. I've got one in the works where we're going to be looking at primers and primer pockets a little bit more closely. And I'm calling that video Primer Mania. You'll see why when we get there. We're also going to be looking at neck tension. I'm going to be doing some experiments, or have been doing some experiments, with the 308 Winchester and varying neck tension bushings. Now that is turning out to be a really neat experiment as well. So stay tuned, watch for some new Extreme Reloading Special Editions videos coming your way. And hey, thanks for watching.